Alright. Okay. So, good day. Um, I decided na gumawa na lang din ng video lecture from badminton hanggang volleyball para sa references ninyo for the coming final examination. So, I hope that these materials that I will be uploading will serve a big help sa pagre-review ninyo para sa subject. But rest assured that the exam is very, not really easy, pero it's not that challenging. Why? Because the topics for the final term is all about the history, nature, equipment, some basic rules of the sports that we've um, that we've discussed. So, hindi ganun siya kadali. Actually, I find it very challenging to create questions. Why? Because the topic, yung lesson is very factual. Hindi ko naman pwedeng gawing situational yung dates kung kailan nagawa ang badminton, nagawa ang volleyball. So, yun. It is just be patient in memorizing the informations because majority of the questions sa examination are objective type. Okay, may basis siya. Kasi based siya sa history, based siya sa measurement ng bola or equipment, nung me really discuss the topic for the So, yung unang topic natin is badminton. So, discuss na to. So, that, okay. So, proceed na tayo dito sa badminton. So, definition of badminton, it is a fast-paced game where two players use racket to hit a shuttlecock over a net and score points by landing it in the opponent's court. Okay, so sa lahat ng racket games, badminton is the fastest. Okay, you need speed, you need agility, you need power. Okay, kaya nga sa lahat ng racket games, I can consider that badminton is yung pinaka tiring na racket games. And in all racket games, only badminton that you need to make sure that the ball or the shuttlecock will remain airborne on your court. Not like in table tennis, pickleball, na the ball can bounce to your floor. I mean, yes, your floor, but in badminton, since shuttlecock doesn't have the characteristic to bounce, and it is not really meant to bounce or to touch the floor. So you need to make sure that the shuttlecock, whenever the shuttlecock um, is on your side or in your court, you need to make sure it is airborne. Okay, so objective of badminton, okay, keep the shuttlecock in play by hitting it over the net without letting it touch the ground. Okay, so as I've mentioned a while back, make sure that the shuttlecock is airborne because the moment that the shuttlecock touch your court successfully, not outside, then it is your opponent's court. Okay? So ang objective mo whenever your opponents, okay, hit the shuttlecock going back to your court, you need to make sure to hit the shuttlecock, set the shuttlecock, or kill the shuttlecock. Okay? Number two, control the shuttle speed from gentle shots to very fast smashes. Okay, I mentioned this last time that in badminton, it is not enough that you know how to smash alone. Okay, as a good badminton player, you should know when to smash and when to do drops, do placing, because in that way you can set your you can set the shuttlecock and kill the shuttlecock surely. Okay, so by doing that, you need to know how to correctly execute yung tinatawag nating backhand, forehand, placing, drop ball, okay? So that from a very slow shots to very quick and powerful smash, okay? Especially in singles, okay? You're the only one playing in the court except your opponent. Then you need to know when to smash. In singles, it's not advisable to do smash all the time because mapapagod ka. Okay? Tumatakbo ka na, nagda-dive ka pa. Okay? Then smash ka ng smash, then mabilis kang mapapagod doon. So, in order to conserve your energy, okay, your power, you need to strategize on how you will going to choose a specific shot for your opponent. Okay? Hindi lang basta ibalik mo rin yung bola sa kabila, sa opponents, because yes, you can volley the shuttlecock to your opponent's court, but the opponent it can easily hit the shuttlecock going back to you. The objective is you need to send the shuttlecock or to hit the shuttlecock to your opponent, making your opponent difficultly receive the shuttlecock. Kasi kung pangit yung bigay niya sa'yo, like it's very high, then you have a chance to hit the shuttlecock or kill the shuttlecock successfully. Okay, number 3 is that follow serving rules, allowing only one serve attempt per turn. Okay, I already discussed this one last time, that in badminton, there is what we call right side and left side on your court. So when your score is even, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, you need to stay on the right side of your court. And if your score is odd, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, then you need to stay on the left side of your court. Okay? Then the the correct manner in serving is diagonal. When you're staying on the right side of the court, you need to send the shuttlecock because to the right side of the other court, okay, facing you, because the rule is right to right, left to left. So the receiver, if you're staying at the right side on your court of your court, then you need to service, or you need to serve the shuttlecock on the right side of your opponent courts. So siya ang receiver. Then the only way or the only reason to alternate your service is first when your team, I mean when your opponent successfully hit the shuttlecock on your court, then the shuttlecock or the service will be transferred to your opponent. Then when your opponent committed an error, or you commit, or you get a point, or you won a point in a rally, then the shuttlecock will going back to your side, but in doubles, ang magsaserve na is yung partner mo na. Okay? So, medyo nakakalito siya pag beginner ka, but when you play badminton, always, mabilis lang din siyang matutunan. Okay? Like what we've experienced during your practicals in badminton, nasisigawan ko yung iba sa inyo kasi dito ka lang sa right side even, dun ka sa left side kasi add na. Okay? So, pag beginning talaga, medyo challenging. Okay? Now, let's proceed on a very short discussion on on the history of badminton. So, origin in ancient civilization, early games in China, Greece, and India dated back to 5th century BCE. Players used paddle called battledores to keep the shuttlecock airborne. So, the very first term for racket is battledores. It is made out of wood. Okay? If we try to compare the battledores to the modern racket or to the racket right now, there have similarities in terms of structure, but totally different on the materials that was used to create the equipment. Okay? So matagal na ang badminton, And according to history, this sports is usually for upper classes. Okay? Now, Pune is the first name of badminton. Pune, it is a place, a city in India, which is now they term Pune into Pune, or the modern name of Pune is Pune. Okay, Pune is the early name of badminton taken from the city of Pune, which is now termed as Pune in India, where the game was played by British soldiers before it became known as badminton. Okay, yes, the home country of badminton is India because it is in India. Badminton first played in India, but people from British or Britain, okay, introduced this game to Indian peoples of people. So sila yung usually naglalaro nung Puna. Okay, influence of British in 1860s. India officers adopted battledore games into competitive form to make it more entertaining, to make it more competitive, okay, challenging. They created rules, okay, some rules in playing badminton, but it was not recognized by Olympic because it is not also the this group are not really license or illegitimate to create rules. Okay, Olympic only honors sports if there is a legitimate or really proven professional group of people who creates rule of a certain game. Okay, so Pune appeals spread among British upper classes in India and England. Okay, usually, ang naglalaro ng Pune are those people that belong to a status of high class status. Okay, now, birth of badminton, 1873. So this place is named as the Badminton House. Okay, badminton got its name from the Badminton House, the home of the Duke of Beaufort in England, wherein the rules of the game were first organized here, and the game, okay, organized here, and the game later became known as badminton after the place. Okay, so in early 1960s, there were rules created, but not that so formally introduced. Okay, and it's for the sake of competition only. Okay, friendly competition only. Now here, the birth of badminton. Okay, from Pune, badminton is now called badminton because of the place, the badminton house. Okay, here in badminton house, they arrange their, they fix, they amend, they created new rules for badminton. Okay, so but then again, during that time, it was not really recognized by Olympic. So formation of badminton association because um, Olympic only recognize a sports if there is a legitimate association or group of people who manage and create rules for a specific sports. 1893. Okay. So in 1893, the first badminton association was founded in England to govern the sport. Okay, so the very first name of or group of people who created the rule or who managed the sports badminton is Badminton Association. But now we term them BWF or the Badminton World Federation. Okay, they unified rules established for fair play and competition. So when these people already assess that the set of rules that they've created is already okay, it is competitive, it is fair, okay, it promotes sportsmanship, okay, it promotes um, or it's developed the skills of the players, the participants. Then they decided in 1899 to apply these rules for the very first All England Open Badminton Championship held in England. So the very first competitive competition for badminton was held in England in 1899. Now, in the history of badminton, in terms of Olympic Games, badminton was first featured. The debut of badminton was in 1792, 1972 rather, and to 1988. 1988 was hosted by Seoul Olympic. Okay, I mean Seoul, Korea. But badminton was questioned after that Olympic Games. Then BWF decided, or Olympic rather, decided to stop, okay, the conduct of badminton. Then maybe they still see lacking on the rules and regulation that BWF needs to attend to in order to include badminton again in Olympic Games. Then in 1992, okay, added as an official sports in Barcelona Olympic Games. So 1992, badminton now is an officially, okay, official event in Olympic Games. Like starting 1992 up until now, the recent Olympic Games, badminton is always present. Okay, now let's proceed on the equipment and facilities in badminton. So, mabilis lang to. So, the very, very obvious equipment that we usually observe or see in the sports badminton is the racket. Okay, so the racket has different parts. We have the head, we have the frame, we have the string, we have the throat, we have the shaft, and handle. Okay, usually competitive rackets doesn't have throat because the shaft and the head is one part. Okay, dire-diretso kasi yon. The disadvantage of throat kasi class, when the glue is already not okay, tying the shaft and the head, pwede siyang mag-bend. Okay, usually ang mga badminton rackets, wala siyang throat. From shaft to head, dire-diretso lang yan. Okay? And the string is also very important in badminton. And the term for putting the string is gut. Okay, GUT. Ngayon, it depends on the racket tension kung gaano kahigpit yung pwede mong ibigay sa isang racket. Because if it's too loose, it's not okay also. Okay? The power of your smash is not sufficient kapag yung string mo is loose na. Okay, kaya nga kapag nabebend mo na siya, kapag hinihila mo na siya at nabebend na yung string, then that is a sign that you need to regat your racket. Okay? But if it's too tight, there is also a tendency that the racket will going to be wreck. Pwede siyang masira. Kapag malakas kang pumalo at medyo nasobrahan yung tension ng racket mo, pwede siyang mabasag yung racket. So, just follow the prescribed racket, the tension of your racket in gutting your racket para magtagal yung racket sa'yo. Okay? Then we have the handle and the shaft. Okay. Next one, the shuttlecock. One of the second observed equipment in badminton is the shuttlecock. Okay, so badminton is an indoor sports. Why? Because of the ball that we are using. Because shuttlecock is very sensitive to air, making badminton to be held only inside a court. Not like in volleyball, you can play it outside, basketball, but in badminton, once that the wind is wild, you cannot play badminton anymore. Okay, so the shuttlecock. So the shuttlecock, the height of the shuttlecock measures 62 to 70 millimeters, or 2,716 inches to 2,3/4 inches. Okay, yung circumference niya o yung lapad niya doon sa feather, it measures 58 to 68 millimeters, or 2,516 inches to 2,1116 inches. Okay, yung sa head naman niya, it is 25 to 28 millimeters, to 1 inches to 118 inches. So the material used in creating shuttlecock is a feather and a cork. Okay, yung cork is yung pantakip ng wine, yun yung ulo ng shuttlecock. Okay, kasi doon tinutusok yung feather. Okay, and the prescribed weight of shuttlecock only weighs 4.74 to 5.50 grams or 0.17 to 0.19 ounce only. How many feathers are there? There should be 16 feathers. Okay? So, ito yung isang sa rason na bakit mahal din ang badminton. Although racket is also expensive, it can, if there are rackets ranging from 2,000 to 5,000 pesos. Also, there are 10,000 to 20,000 pesos. Okay? The next one, still shuttlecock pala. So, in every tournament class, only feather shuttlecock are being used. Hindi pwedeng gumamit ng nylon. Okay, bakit? Kasi nylon, that's the material-wise, they are different. Mas mabilis kasi yung nylon eh. Oo. Mas mabilis yung lipad niya. So, it is not really for competition. Maybe for recreational purposes only, but I've never encountered a competition, badminton competition, that we use a synthetic one. Okay? But there are already badminton shuttlecock that they intertwine or they combined the feather and the plastic, making a synthetic shuttlecock. This synthetic shuttlecock is closely like the feather shuttlecock. It's just that it is more durable, a little bit more durable. Pwede mo siyang gamitin ng ilang beses compared dito sa may feather talaga na kapag malakas pumalo yung player, mabilis din siyang masira. Okay. Now, next one is we have the net. Okay, the net is not that tall like volleyball. It measures only sa side. It measures lang 1.55 meters or 5 feet in 1 inch. The height of the net, okay, the net per se, not the post, measures 0.76 meters to 2 feet or 2 feet and 16 inches. Now, at the middle of the net, it measures 1.524 meters or 5 feet. Okay? So, hindi siya ganun kataas. Okay? But the challenge niya, kaya hindi ganun kataas, is that shuttlecock is very fast. So, you need to be quick inside the court. Number 4, we have the court. Okay? So, the court has a two functions, court for singles and court for doubles. Okay, for singles, ang court lang dito is the inner box here. Yan, ito lang ang singles. Okay? In singles, wala tayong long service. Okay? Only in doubles yon. Okay? But both singles and doubles, there is what we call short service. Once your service landed before the line, then it is considered error. Okay? In doubles naman class, during service, meron tayong tinatawag na error dito sa long service. Once the shuttlecock landed here at the end part of the court, it is considered error. So you, as a server, make sure that the shuttlecock only lands here. Okay? Dito sa square na to. Ay, dito sa box na to. Okay? Then, but during the rally, the court is, the whole court of badminton is included na. Okay? Only in doubles that, in doubles that there is a long service error. Okay. So this is the measurement of the court. Okay? Yung haba ng court measures 13.54 meters. The back line of the court measures 6.10 meters. Okay, the end line measures 0.76 meters. Okay? Then the measures of The service line to the center line measures 1.98 meters. And from the service line to the back line measures 3.9 meters. And for the singles line, okay, service line measures 0.46 meters. And the measurement of the right and left boxes on your court measures 2.59 meters. Okay, so last time it is challenge for us to create badminton court. Akala mo hindi siya ganun ka-challenging pag ginawa mo siya. Okay, medyo mahirap din siyang gawin. Okay, last layup kasi um, we've, I mean, they assigned us to create the badminton court, but we surrendered. Okay, so true growth from when we take the responsibility for our action, respect rules and values, fair play in every activity we engage in. Okay, that saying is came from John Dewey. So always be responsible for your actions as an kung athlete kayo okay? And respect rules and values, value fair play in every activity we engage. Because as an athlete, okay, siguro yung iba sa inyo hindi to magigets because you're not an athlete. But if it can also be applied in real life. But for athletes, I always advise my players that if you want to become a good athlete, the number one trait or characteristic that you need to embody, okay, aside from being obedient, masipag, is that discipline. Okay, because if you are an athlete that really value discipline, then everything will follow. Okay, time in training, okay, sportsmanship for your coach, respect your coach, then wala tayong magiging problema. Okay, and kapag wala kasing disiplina and during practice, you fake your practice. I always say to my students that if you want to become, my players, that if you want to become a good player, a skilled one, a powerful one, then do not fake the training. Kasi kung pinepeke mo yung proseso, then the result is also fake. So, kung pinatakbo kita ng 20 minutes non-stop, you need to do that. Pag pinagawan kita ng footwork non-stop, you need to do that. Because if you really want to develop your skill, then you need to put your 100+% committing to this training in order to develop your skill, in order to become powerful inside the court. Okay? So that is the topic for badminton.